Yo, hey guys, it's Beast, back with some more beastly content, and disclaimer alert. This video is meant for those who have been playing the game relatively as long as me. So, if you are a new player to this game and you are still enjoying this game, you might not want to watch this video. However, if you are a player like me who has played since the launch or earlier, maybe even the beta, then you know that the game is currently in a major content drought. The only thing we have actually received so far is Lunar Oracle, and here are my biggest issues with Lunar Oracle. So, first of all, let's start about what Lunar Oracle is. What did the devs actually do to the game to make it different with this Lunar Oracle system? They added randomized chests, or not randomized, but they added chests to 3 point of interest on the Way of Winter map on phase 2. So we got Ashington, there's 5 chests here. We got 5 chests in Sunshroud Cave, and we've got 5 chests in the Fire God Research Center. My biggest issue with these chests is due to the fact the only purpose of opening them is to 1, get the new Lunar Oracle deviations, and 2, get the Oracle mod boxes. I have an issue with the mod boxes as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at these, and let's say I'm a player and I'm using controllers. I have 18 controllers right now because I've been opening these boxes, checking out the Oracle mods. These mods aren't even worth getting. You should just stick to normal mods, and you shouldn't even be wasting controllers on these. What am I even supposed to do with these boxes? I mean, I guess I can open them directly and not use a controller, and that's actually exactly what I'm gonna do, because I do actually plan on farming up some pro mode boxes. So for any new players who continue to watch this anyway, even though I said this is mainly for veterans, we're gonna go ahead and just recommend you to open these boxes without using controllers, because otherwise you're not gonna have a damn controller left come phase 3, and you're not even gonna be able to farm the pro mods. So my issue with Oracle is that 1, it's just mystical / morphic crates, but reskinned, and you know, all they do is give the Lunar Oracle deviations. However, for any of you who've been playing Oracle for a minute now, you may find yourself in the same position I am, being that you have all 6 of these new Lunar Oracle deviations, and you're not worried about getting them for 5.5 because they're deviations you wouldn't even be wanting to use anyway. And I've did this a lot, so I have 4 5s, I have 5 1s, I do have some close to 5 5s. However, that being said, once you have all of the Oracle deviations, there really isn't any reason to even be opening these Lunar Oracle crates, and the Lunar Oracle crates themselves are the only new real content. Yes, they added whispers, and yes, there are new food items to use for whispers. However, for any player who has been here for a very long time, they know this is content drought, and we're not slated to get any real new content until Q3. Now, I say any content, however, we will go take a look at the visual wheel, and we're gonna go ahead and talk about what is coming next, and I'm hoping turns out to be something worth shooting, but I'm kind of worried about it. So another thing I wanted to mention is the fact that when they were announcing Lunar Oracle, they said there were going to be unique territory decorations. So far, I have not seen these. However, I am hoping very highly that during the Crimson Moon Effect event that comes out on February 13, we can see some of these unique territory-based decorations. Currently don't have any, and I have absolutely no reason to go open Oracle boxes. I have all of the new recipes. I'm really not worried about it. I mean, I think maybe, see, because I got the meat feed and the grain feed now, I don't think there's another feed, but I'm really not opening boxes for that. The problem is just the fact that there's no new content. And I had someone message me in chat today and literally blame me for players leaving because I made one video about the lucky bags, and occasionally in the chat I go, so what's the point of Oracle once you get all the lunar deviations? They messaged me saying I was being negative and that I was the reason that players were leaving, but this game's been out since 2024 for some of us. Not me, I started 6 months ago when it launched on Steam. However, I just kind of want to show you the Steam chart. It's my fault we're at 25,000 players when in 2024 we were at 200,000 players. And then even back in 2024, like Literally since launch. At launch, we had 200,000 players. But this guy tried to tell me that it was my fault we're down to 25,000 players. And I think that's just absolutely nutty. And I'm not here to talk about the guy or anything like that. I just thought it was nutty that some guy messaged me in chat and told me it was my fault that we were in this content drought. And it was my fault players were leaving. But that's absolutely nutty, because why would it be my fault that the devs decided to release nothing but filler content that adds no real content to the game for veteran players? Once again, if you are a new player and you are still enjoying the game has a lot to give you. There's a whole lot of content in this game. But if you're like me and you've been playing since launch, or some of you even playing since the beta or the closed beta from like last year, you would know that the game's just in a major content drought. The devs are trying to get their mobile release done, so they're not worried about keeping the Steam players. As a matter of fact, the Steam charts might even plummet all the way down to 10K by the time Q3 rolls around. I mean, you can say I'm being negative all you want, but if I leave this game like other content creators have done, it's not gonna make the Steam charts go back up. It's not gonna make that go up, okay? It's not gonna make it to where there are actually players playing this shit. Because once you get the game done, once you've, what I'm gonna call beat the game, because we're gonna start talking about what beating the game looks like. So I can't actually click that. However, I will tell you I have at least one gold weapon that's 6 stars, and I have at least one armor mod that's 6 stars. With the blueprint conversion system, you get 10 converts. You're allowed to make an entire full 6-star gear set. My boots are the only thing missing because I'm waiting on a conversion attempt. However, you're able to make a full 6-star gear set, and once you have the good mods farmed, every season that you go in, you don't really have too many reasons to play. Sure, if you try out a new build, you might have to go farm up 1 or 2 mods, but that's still not going to take very much time. And I think it's crazy that people now are going to try and tell me that it is my fault players are leaving. The game had 200,000 players on its Steam launch. The devs could have taken those 200,000 players and did us right and actually made us some content to play while we waited for Q3. They could have done new public events or anything like that, but instead they decided to take the current deviations in-game and slap a red coloring on it. So like, here is the Lunar Oracle snow sprite. Here's the stock one. As you can see, the only difference in these deviations is that they colored them red. That's not new content at all. That is just coloring a deviation red. I'll also mention that back during the Steam launch, when they released the Shinies update, we have real Shinies. So let's go ahead and head to my Eternal Land and we'll take a look at the Shinies. Alrighty, so here we are in my Eternal Land, and first I wanted to touch up on these Nutcrackers. This is part of the Nutcracker event. They don't really serve much purpose, but they do have all kinds of different variations of them. They're all Shinies, and this has been a thing, and they're real Shinies being that they all have unique skins that aren't just coloring a skin red. But aside from that, we'll go ahead and take a look at what else I do have just chilling in here that is also shiny. Now we're gonna have to scroll for a bit because I have a lot of deviations. I've got a ton of eels stacked up in here. I've got festering gels. I've got the original original lone wolf blister. Once again, they just colored it red. This isn't new content. This is just coloring a deviation red. And that's literally the only point to open Oracle chest. You do not want the mod suffix boxes. You might want the recipes, but in reality, in here, this was the Christmas Dr. Teddy. This is a dark rebel fetch-a-lot bunny. All of this is just base game stuff. When they released the shiny update, it was released as just extra stuff to do in the game. People were just going out and farming for shinies, and that was the thing. And now they're releasing this new Visional Wheel content, and the content is red shinies, like just taking the base character. Like here, this is a real shiny. This was during another event. It's a pumpkin Buzzy Bee. So this is where I'm at with it. They've went from releasing actual content and shinies being like side content to, you know, add more content to it, to just nothing. Red deviations. That's what we got to farm here, and you're limited to farming them 15 minutes a day. Once again, the Prism Digby. That's another shiny that's just a base game shiny that you already could have been farming for, not even needing to play Oracle. And another thing is, there is now no hard servers. the Oracle servers are considered hard servers. And I had a guy message me in game today saying that I was on a beginner server, and I explained to him that Oracle literally replaces hard mode. So this should not be a server full of new people. This should be a server full of veterans. The only reason why there's so many new people is because all the veterans have already left. Most people who aren't making content over this game have already left, and I've even seen a couple content creators leave this game due to the lack of content. I've even debated on not coming back to this game until Q3. I do enjoy the new weapons. I will say this is the only form of content that's actually real new content. And that is going to be, the only new content is going to be the new weapons and the new armors and such like that. That is real new content. I appreciate this new unstable bomber pistol. I really do. I think it's gorgeous. But it has absolutely nothing to do with Oracle. And at the end of the day, I could have just stuck to an old build like most people do. Most people do not do 2+ builds a season to keep the game feeling fresh like I do. And another thing about this game, it's just a repetitive grind. When you played this game for seasons and season, it goes play the season, get a sweet base, get all your stuff farmed up, build all your water pumps, build all your refineries, all of this, and then you're gonna go on and your server's gonna wipe, your base is gonna be gone, all of that stuff that you did is gone. The only thing you have to show for it is a bunch of materials in Eternal Land you can sell for Astral Sand. And if you've seen my video on over how to instantly max out the Stellar Stairway, the best use for Astral Sand is making the hands, the Artesian's hands, which link below down below to, maxing the Asterism collection system really easy. That's the only real use for the Astral Sand either. Yes, you could be building an Eternal Land, but once again, that's like a different game mode entirely. That is this game's creative mode. Most of us are not here for a creative mode. We're here for new content, and the devs just don't seem to know how to give us any. Now, once again, I have high hopes, and I hate saying that I have high hopes for this Crimson Moon event. But the only reason why I'm even having high hopes is because when the devs spoke about visional scenarios, they said we were going to get unique territory decorations to actually have. These Lunar Oracle deviations are going to go sit on my Eternal Land, probably like most of us, unless we actually plan on using like a very specific one. Someone might want to use this Pestering Jail specifically. Someone might want to use a Pyro Dino specifically, but once again, that's just one deviation they're going to keep. The rest are going to go to Eternal Land and sit. I do plan on building like a display box for all my shinies in Eternal Land, and might actually do like a video over that, showing that. But overall, this is what the devs are giving us. And what else are the devs giving us? Being in a filler content, do you think that maybe the devs should tone it down on the trying to get people to spend money on the game? Well, no, of course not, because the devs are not worried about us veterans. They're not worried about those of us who have been playing the game for a while, because they already know the seasonal system is burning us out slowly of this game every season that we play. So, all of this cost money. We are in filler content, and if you want a picture of the filler content, you've got to spend $200 at least, okay? And I'm saying that because, this is $25. This is like $20, I think it is. I'm thinking this one's pretty cheap. I think it's only a $3 purchase. This one requires you to go summon in the loot boxes, which I will say they've toned up on the loot boxes a little bit, adding this whole redemption shop system and everything like that. But overall, it's still pretty expensive to be doing these grades. It really is, especially if you just use the gambling system. This can get pricey even now. Once again, we aren't here to talk about that. The other last thing they did during our filler period was add paid achievements. I've heard people argue this isn't paid achievements. However, I beg to differ because you can't unlock them. And limited time event not started. I'm thinking this might be for the New Year event. I don't know. I don't know what actually unlocks this one. This one's one of the ones that seemed like it might end up being free. But paid achievements first. Second, We're gonna add a paintings event that tries to push you to spend money on the game and even rewards you with in-game rewards. Come on, devs, please just start releasing content. I'm thinking some of us who played since day one might seriously need to start thinking about finding another game, because as the game continues to go down and down on Steam charts, there's even less reason for the devs to worry about the Steam version. And that's kinda how it feels with the mobile release coming around in April. Mobile players, either they're gonna be players that were already playing the game and decided to play on mobile, or it's their first experience. They'll have two scenarios to play. The devs will have plenty of time to get the content out to Q3, and they just don't even have to worry about us veterans. And that's kind of just the sad reality of it is that the content these devs are making is not meant for us players who have been playing long term. It's meant for new players, and it's the problem of the game. There is no real new content for a veteran player. Yes, there's a new collection that you can get, being the Lunar Oracle deviations, which once again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go ahead and go down. We got the Xeno Purifier at 5, and there's my Snowprite. I have all the new deviations, and I obtained all 3 of the wish boxes from the shop. I have absolutely no reason of playing this, especially being that this is supposed to replace hard mode. I might come back to winter in phase 3, however my alt has about a day and X amount of hours, and I do feel like covering all the lunar content in Manibus as well, and we're gonna see how maybe if there's a possibility that Lunar Oracle is a better, more fun thing to play in Manibus than it actually is in Way of Winter, but I'm thinking it's just going to be more of the same. Go open boxes for 15 minutes and then play the regular game for 45 with no actual reason to call to say hard mode or anything like that, and that's really lame. But at the same time, the devs are not worried about us veterans. They're not worried about the people who want hard content. They're really not. They're only worried about getting new players so they can buy cosmetic packs, and that's just the end of it. That's why they've been pushing cosmetics so swiftly lately. That's why there's been so many more loot crates. That's why there's just been so many different things to spend money on. That's what the devs are concerned about. They are absolutely not concerned about keeping the players actually playing or keeping a hold of the old players. They're only worried about the new ones, and it is clearly showing. But I do believe this is all. Let me know what you think down below. Do you think Lunar Oracle is kind of a flop? Are you hopeful for this event coming in like 2 weeks? I'm hoping there's something in it that I actually really want to farm for and gives me a real reason to be playing this game. However, I'm about to be heading to Manibus on my alt because I just have no reason to even play this. I do not feel like doing the pumps. I don't feel like doing any of that. I've got my gear maxed. I'm gonna do that. I mean, this is why I built a minimalist small base that looks nice. I can get on when I'm enjoying the game and actually play it. This is why I've done this, because I just cannot be asked to do the same grind of getting all the Stardust pumps or making all the Stardust source just for it all to go to Eternal End at the end of the season anyway. But let me know what you think down below. Do you think the game is in a bad position? It is. 25,000 player base. It was at like 30k the other day. And once again, you can try and blame a single content creator for the downfall of this game. However, a lot of people are agreeing there's just not much content here. But I'm out. See yas. Keep it beast mode.